Hello, everyone. This is SAJE Banter, and for this podcast, we'll be talking about the 2020 candidates. As usual, it is me, your host, Javier Hernandez, followed by
Ernesto Hernandez, feel me?
And Big Ant.
His name's actual. It's Anthony Higueras.
Higorous.
Higgers. The best way to start it off is
If you
okay.
want,
No, I have a question. No, it's okay.
Oh, you have a
I'm
question?
be asking questions.
Okay, perfect.
Javi's a mediator.
So, I want each of you to say who you think the best candidate is, and give me 3 reasons why, and then we'll start off the conversation from there.
Okay.
So whoever wants to go, raise their hand and I'll choose. I'm just kidding. No, good. Speak up. It's fine.
Let my man's
go,
go.
go.
Okay, so I hope this mic's not too far. Joe Biden is by far my best choice.
But he hasn't announced yet.
Yeah, I want people that are actually.
He's at
winning.
95% right now.
But that nigga ain't in.
By the
As of
time
right
this
now.
is done, he could have already announced. The 95% chance.
Just a Google away. But okay. Continue.
So-
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden, for 3 reasons, would beat Donald Trump. 1, to start, he's leading in polls against fellow Democrats already, beating even Bernie Sanders right now. 2, he's a bipartisan. He knows how to do this. He's done it in the Senate for years. Okay, Bernie Sanders has not brought nearly as much bipartisanship to the Senate as Joe Biden. And number 3, Biden relates with the working class of this country. He would win states like Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin. He could win Florida and maybe even other states in the South because he's not as far left as Bernie Sanders.
All right. Cool. Yeah, if we're gonna go on the parameters of what he's talking about, right? If he is in that, he would be like the favorite also on my side, just because he does have, like Anthony was talking about, experience, and the thing is he is very well liked with old and young, especially during the Obama administration, and he could actually really could pose a threat, to Donald Trump, if he plays his cards right, obviously. And that's pretty much it. It really is. Anthony really pretty much said everything on why
Thank
he
you.
would be a
He's just
favorite.
the ideal candidate.
Yeah,
essentially.
just because he's not far left, like he's not like basically of what Republicans would be as an extremist.
Right.
So he's pretty much, I guess, like a balanced Democrat. Like
He's a moderate.
Yeah, he's a moderate.
Yeah.
And if he is that liberal side, he doesn't show it.
He shows it very minutely.
Yeah.
Like, if you think about it, Obama wasn't even for gay marriage until his second term. When Obama first got elected, it was not on the promise of, legalizing gay marriage. That didn't come until his second term because he knew he had to win in the South and other states where he could be able to beat somebody like Mitt Romney, who's essentially that guy where he stands up for conservative and Christian ideals, even though he himself is, I think, a Mormon. So,
But he's just gonna have to arm himself. Well, whatever Democrat that goes up, he's gonna have to arm themselves with some ammunition of the insult game.
well, see, and I like Biden because remember when Biden said he would take Donald Trump, like if they were in high school together, he's like, I would take him behind, the locker room and beat the hell out of that guy. Like, Biden is not going to back down from Donald Trump.
Yeah, no, nor should he.
And honestly, Biden will call him out on his bullshit. Biden's going to say, look, I come from Scranton, Pennsylvania, working class family.
The Office.
Yeah, The Office. I know you people better than this guy does. Who is he?
This guy is.
He's a rich playboy in that sense. His dad gave him money. He's never had it bad. Biden is going to, I think, sway voters just off that.
See, but that's actually also the same message that Bernie's giving out right now. Did you see what he announced? He was saying, like, I came from
Yeah, but these
New
same
York.
people.
My parents, hardly afforded that apartment that I lived in. And Saying,
true, but there's a few
I'm
things
not rich.
about
I didn't
that.
grow up rich. You know. All that
So
shit.
Sanders is also from Brooklyn,
Brooklyn.
which a lot of people in the South are already going to go, oh, he's one of those city guys. Even though they voted for one in Donald Trump, they're going to be like, we can't relate with Bernie. Also, the thing with Bernie is he's going to get called a socialist or a communist every fucking time. Basically meaning that they're going to scare these people. They're going to be like, when Sanders is there, the Soviet Union, I bet you they're going to bring up the Soviet Union multiple times, talking about this is what America is going to become under Bernie Sanders.
Venezuela.
And that's going to scare a lot of people that still
Talk about
remember.
Venezuela.
Yeah, Venezuela's another. And Bernie's nowhere close to either one of those things. But I don't like Bernie because of his super far left ideals. And that's why Biden has my vote as he runs.
Yeah. I mean, mine is it's open for business, but as of right now, just because I know more about Biden, my vote was swayed towards him. But once the primary started, and he does actually announce that he's going to run, and you start hearing all these politicians speak of what they stand for and whatnot, and what they're going to actually do, then I'm gonna keep my mind open, see who, well, for me personally, is gonna.
I mean, what you could do right now, just from the list, I know people talk about how many Democrats are running right now.
I
But
have
you
the
need
list
to
right here.
look at, yeah, I have the list in front of me as well.
Big list.
The thing is,
Yeah.
we shouldn't be looking at who are the top dogs of there. Or, I mean,
Actually, you should.
well,
because
yeah, let me correct myself. What I should be saying is we shouldn't be including all these Democrats in the conversation. So, really, out of about the 15 that there are, you got Cory Booker, who's still a long shot. You have Gillibrand. She is not going to get it. Kamala Harris. No, she's not going to win. She's already lower than Sanders and I think even Elizabeth Warren on the last one. Then you got Sanders, Warren, and likely to run, which was kind of interesting, Congressman Swalwell. They have him as they have him as likely to run, and he's actually our congressman in this
Honestly,
district.
if he runs,
He'll lose.
I'd vote for him too, though.
I wouldn't.
I would.
He actually
I like
just
his ideals.
really.
Yeah,
What do
I
you like?
follow him on Twitter. He speaks to the far left, but also speaks to the moderate Democrat. So he's a balance in between the moderate Democrats and the alt left.
So what does he do? For example, one that's far left and then one that's moderate. What does he do?
Well, he's for the typical movement right now, which was like the just trying to get Trump impeached. Like he was publicly saying like it's all over.
So is that far left or moderate? Because that doesn't.
That's far left. I'm saying
that's not too far left.
that's pretty far left. Most of the alt left are the ones that are saying impeach him.
A lot of people are saying impeach him.
Yeah, but it's mostly
Even Republicans.
Well, I know, but
they see those Republicans ain't showing their face like that.
No, of
Because you
course
speak
not.
out
But
against them, you're gonna get bashed in the fucking media.
if it came up to an impeachment, though, they're gonna. I think that's when they would show their colors and actually vote for that.
Yeah, I don't even know about that, dude. Just because, you know how, like the Michael Cohen hearings, dude. You know how all these Republicans like, you are a liar.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell, but
Hey, see, you don't know where their loyalty lies, man. Is it just because of the gang they represent of the Republicans, or is it like they're just putting up a face? We don't know. They haven't showed us otherwise. And if they did when he was running, or even earlier in his presidency,
they were against him.
they were against him, exactly. And then now, like I said, Lindsey Graham again was an avid. He criticized Trump
Staunchly against Trump. Yeah.
always when he was running.
Yeah.
Even when early on, right? He criticized some of his decisions, and now you I support Mr. Trump.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
Well, I think it's because obviously Lindsay would still rather see Trump than a Democrat. You know,
Yeah, I know, but still,
that's the thing. I don't know. It's a weird thing. We've never seen a Donald Trump. That's the thing, that we don't have anything to compare this to. And that's the problem. So it's all just a guessing game. But what I do know is if the Democrats put up the wrong candidate, we're going to have another 4 years of Trump.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
For people to be
that's
so
a given.
ignorant to say Donald Trump won't win, these people are so fucking stupid.
A rude awakening.
They're like, Trump is
A
not.
second time.
Trump's not gonna win. You know, he's such shit. Yeah, well, he still has a huge base, and senators he hasn't backed up, congressmen he hasn't backed up. In certain cases where he didn't like them, they've lost. But then there's been some where he's backed up
because in the
and
these
have
midterm
lost.
elections, a lot of them who are like pounding on that his fear mongering of the caravan
Wow.
that caused that blue wave to hit, because that was his basically like talking point. Oh, illegal immigrants are coming to kill us. They're gonna rape us.
What I think is it's just that more people are socially aware. Because when Trump campaigned, you saw Trump as a crazy person, but you didn't know how he would actually be as president. Now he's president, and I think people are like, we fucked up.
Still some. The in between voters, people who are neither.
Well, the blue wave, the blue wave happens because people realize.
I know,
this.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the in between people, not the people who are like so far Republican or like.
Oh yeah.
And the Democrats who won in those states won through actually getting the message of for the working class, and it was like the middle America,
Which is what the Democrats used to run off of. No, that Democrats were for the working people. They were for the.
Well, they still are. It's just now, since a lot of middle America is Republican, but it's like they just want to see a red president. They don't want to see or some don't and some do, but that's just my thing, because it's just like you don't know exactly what a lot of these people think. Like, even though they are for the working class, he or she is a damn Democrat. I can't vote for a damn Democrat.
Yeah, I've heard some hard stuff where they would vote for anything else, like Roy Moore. I'd rather have a pedophile than a Democrat, and I'm like,
you're fucking
what
retarded.
The fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, it's just fucking retarded. But
yeah.
But those are also the voters that whoever runs and it ends up is the last one standing on the Democratic side has to be able to pound the issue against these these far right voters, to show, at least give the effort to show them that, like, you might not think I'm not for you, but I am.
Also, another thing is, we can't have that never Hillary type deal that happened. So, like, all these Bernie supporters that were like never her, in possibly key states that she could have maybe swayed, in her favor. But these people were, never her.
Like
never
Pennsylvania.
her. And it's like, look, maybe it's not necessarily, the two evils that we talk about, but you definitely didn't want Trump.
Some people did.
Oh yeah, just to watch the damn system crumble.
Oh, like anarchists and stuff. Yeah.
Just like, I'll get this crazy ass fucker inside here and see what happens.
Let's spice things up a little bit. See what we could get started.
I was trying to find how many votes exactly were for Trump.
He had about 60 million, 61 million.
Yeah, you had at least.
And then Hillary had about 63.
You had about 63 million people that were for Trump.
At least over 60 million, yeah.
No, it was 63 actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She beat him by like 2 million.
For the popular vote, yeah.
Yeah.
He beat Hillary in the popular vote?
No. Hillary did.
No, okay.
You still had 63 million people.
I thought it was the other way around.
Yeah. good part of the country, man.
That's how
I
the
mean,
electoral college works. If you get the most people, it doesn't matter how many people are in their state.
Electoral college is a
That's a
fucking
good.
joke.
That's a good chunk of the country, man, that voted for him. We have about 365 million.
Basically, besides the coast, that whole chunk in the middle that people have that
The only ones
we
that
have to
didn't,
worry
the only
about.
ones that didn't was New Mexico and Colorado. There were the two blue states in the sea of red.
You know what I found interesting was, oh no, I had thought North Carolina went blue. No, it's not. One, guys, it's not. It's not like you think. They have gone blue before. They were blue for Obama
Why?
and Gore, I think.
Why?
Why? I don't know. You tell us why, Ernesto. What's your theory?
Cause man, it's something new, and so
Oh,
a
is
lot of
that
these,
what we're calling
yes,
that?
something new
It's because he's black.
that has to do with it a little bit, but not really. But it's just imagine you got a lot of like not even like people like me and Javi, right? But like all we've seen in our lives are people who don't look like us, right? Or people who we would like mess with as we were like kids, Like I went to public school in Oakland where literally only 3 kids were white. The rest were all black, Asian, and Mexican, or just some type of Latino. So imagine.
Ain't that a change?
So,
Oakland 50 years ago was all white, and then maybe the occasional
see,
black guy.
and then that's where I grew up on. So you're just like, all you see are your presidents, and then grew up on some shitty ass president. On basically, as you start remembering, because all right, the last thing, what's the like real last thing you actually remember of a president actually doing something? Was when, like, 9/11 happened.
What, with Bush?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like when you saw like as a kid, you actually paid attention. At least to most kids, it's when like a national disaster. I never saw Clinton, dude.
Well,
And
Clinton
just to
didn't
give a little
have too much
perspective,
stuff.
me and Anthony are 24.
I'm
and then-
25.
Oh yeah, 25 now. I forgot your birthday passed. And then
He
Javi
didn't say
here
happy
is
birthday to
I'm the
me.
Deuce One.
yeah, he deuce one. Yeah, and so we're 90s kids, so obviously we're not going to remember a lot of the Clinton era. What we grew up on was technically the
Well, you were midway
the
through.
Bush era.
Yeah, you were midway through the Clinton era.
Yeah, we grew up through the Bush era. And, I mean, Clinton didn't have all that shit. I mean, he had, like, Lewinsky. He
Yeah,
had
see,
to
but
deal
we
with some
didn't see
terrorist
that.
stuff.
When was that? When was the Lewinsky shit?
The Lewinsky thing was in, like, 95, 96. Because they did impeach him, but he never got kicked out, technically. So, but the end of Clinton's administration was when terrorism really started to kick off. Like, the bombing of the USS Cole.
That was like 99, right?
Yeah, it was, like, right towards the end. And Clinton has said in interviews that they had a plan to kill Osama bin Laden, but it wasn't getting approved. But he said they knew where he was, all this. They were going to kill him.
It's a conspiracy.
And they don't kill him. And 2 years later, George Bush is standing in New York City, 9/11. And who's the first person? Bin Laden. So then Bush wages 2 wars. One was good.
Which one?
Afghanistan. Afghanistan's good, even in the sense of you're knocking the Taliban out of power in that area.
But they're still there.
Iraq was ridiculous. All we did was the problems we have today in this world, and especially in the Middle East with ISIS and all that, is because of George Bush destabilizing that whole region. Say what you want about Hussein, but he brought a lot of control to that region where now it lacks it, and we've been there for too long. These people hate us.
Both the fucking wars are pointless. It just sent a bunch of Americans just to get killed for something that possibly was there.
Iraq was definitely possibly. Bin Laden was in Afghanistan, but ended up fleeing to Pakistan. They almost had him, I guess, at one point too.
Yeah, but see, it's but you could have done what we basically do to every single country, where we just go in and we're just here to see some shit, right? And not declare an actual war. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Bush's war. That's why he made it so vain. It wasn't the war on Afghanistan. It was the war on terror.
Yeah, no, see?
So he could go anywhere terror was. And who's going to stop the U.S.? The UN Security Council said no, and we went, fuck you, we're still going to do it.
It's just...
And that's the UN Security Council. That's Russia, China, England, France, us. And all those countries said don't do it, and we went, we're fucking doing it. Oh, I think Great Britain said yeah, because they also invaded Afghanistan with it.
For the Queen.
Like,
the royal army for the Queen.
All right, I have
our
one
little
question.
brothers need help.
I have one question.
Okay.
What the fuck does this have to do with the 2020 candidates?
Yeah, see, I was gonna say that right now. We go off on tangents.
Yeah. Okay. So let's bring it back.
Let's bring it back now, y'all.
We'll reel it in.
We're talking about the war on terror.
We started with the 2020
Yeah,
candidates. I don't know how we got here.
Yeah, we went down the rabbit hole.
I think that was a Nesta.
No, I started it with on why people voted for Obama, and then I was just trying to give a perspective on how what we grew up in, and then you said about all of the stuff.
Let's bring it back.
And then you brought me down with you.
All right. I actually have a question.
All right,
Okay.
what's up?
All right. If you guys were to choose Republican, I know you guys are both not Republican. You guys,
No,
Clearly
I'm
point
a
that out.
Democrat, but a moderate one.
but if there was a Republican candidate that you think would take Trump's seat, who would it be?
No. That's if you ask me who I would vote for over Trump is a different story. But who would actually beat him? Nobody.
Yes.
No Republican
chance.
would beat him right now.
No chance. Just
Not even
'cause
the top dogs.
he's a popular figure right now,
Yeah.
and
He's polarizing.
yeah, and as much as we hate to say it, whatever all the crazy shit that he says,
It's working.
people like that shit.
Yeah.
Even
It's-
though he's literally the exact opposite of what his campaign was about, where it was like drain the swamp and whatnot. He didn't do literally any of that shit.
No.
And people are still, who cares? He's awesome.
Trump's America. Okay, no. So then a follow-up question would be, who would you guys vote for if the Democratic Party? I don't know. At that point, it wouldn't really matter. But who would you, if you were for the Republican vote, who would you vote for?
Over Trump.
Yeah.
If I was a Republican, who would I vote for over Trump? I'd probably have to go with
Lion Ted Cruz.
You mean the Zodiac killer?
whose dad shot JFK. Probably somebody like Mitt Romney. I would go for Romney over Trump.
That's the craziest thing, man. Right? This is what Trump has done. That's his. Like
It's not the crazy. If I said Ted Cruz or like Marco Rubio.
I'm just saying, like,
You know what? Even Chris Christie. I would vote for Chris Christie over Donald Trump.
Like when under normal circumstances, I would never vote for Mitt Romney. I would never vote for any Republican president. And he's just done this where I'm like, well, shit, man, I could just take someone who's at least a little fucking normal.
Right about now, I'll take Rand Paul. Who actually wouldn't be too bad, but he's more of a libertarian, anyways. Him and his dad.
Yeah, see, it's just like
Ran and wrong.
It's just that's the Trump effect, where people are saying so much extreme. They're like, we'll just take a notch down from that.
Like Kasich, I don't know what people hop on board with Kasich for. I mean, I would love to see Kasich run against Trump for the Republican nomination, even though Trump's, the incumbent president.
Yeah.
I would love to see it just to, because if you could split those Republican dividers and get people to go, we could get Kasich to get the message across that never Trump. You're gonna get Republican voters that will go with him on that. I think that would be good for us. And then if he threw in somebody like Biden against Trump, then they're all gonna go to him. Because Kasich supporters aren't crazy. Republicans aren't necessarily crazy. Trump supporters are crazy.
And then, well, not
Some.
yeah. And even
Well, no, it's not even some. So it's either
because
either you're voting for him because you're rich and you just want a Republican in there,
Yeah, it's either 3 categories.
or you're fucking crazy because there's no other reason.
No, that's another one.
What's the other?
You're a racist.
Doesn't that qualify? That's
Not
crazy.
all racist people
no,
are
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, that's true. You can be racist and
In
not.
history, a lot of these racist guys have been crazy. You think Hitler was just a sane,
No,
crazy
but see,
sane?
he's the exemption, not the rule.
I don't know. That seems like a pretty. Seems like he hits
I
the
don't
bar.
know.
He's the top bar.
He's a crazy shithead that was a racist. Yes.
Yeah.
But you see all these people who are like, that are secretly, like, oh, yeah, build the wall. These fucking dirty Mexicans, but they don't fucking say it out loud because they're like, damn, we'll get fucking bashed all night,
Or in person.
Yeah. See? Yeah. But they think this shit, right?
Yeah.
Not so. That's what I'm saying. Like either one of 3 things, right? Like you said, either rich, you're a crazy or / idiot, or you're a fucking racist. It's the only fucking
For that
thing.
second one, also add fool. You're a fool. You're a sucker.
You're a rube.
I don't know what that means.
It's basically a dumb fuck.
Oh, I know. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, man. We just need a Democratic candidate to really like touch bases with bipartisanship.
Yeah. And you're not gonna find that,
And
I think, with like somebody like Kamala Harris.
see, and then a plan B would be like Elizabeth Warren. She's already kind of trying to start off on her message on like, I'm for the people. Like that's like the message she's pounding from. Like, oh, and what she's also pounding is that both. I think she has like 2 brothers. Both of them, both served in the military.
Yeah.
All this stuff. Like how she has military background in her family. She's just like. And she's just like
Well,
trying
she's
to
from
pound
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
She's poor. She grew up poor in Oklahoma, and she's self-made in that sense. Became a professor at Harvard and all that.
Yeah, she's a teacher, all that shit.
Yeah, she's worked to get up there. She
Yeah.
knows what it's like to struggle. I hopped on Warren's voluntary committee the day she announced it, which was New Year's, and
Yeah.
I instantly signed up and
Yeah.
donated right there. And so, I mean, as of right now, I'm still supporting Warren over Sanders and all the other people, unless Joe Biden comes in.
Yeah.
That's
see-
kind of the knight in shining armor we're waiting on.
Yeah, see, I'm on the same boat. Like I said, at first, when all these Democrats were just starting to announce and all that, I was still, because they still haven't really said much, right? Because they haven't started campaigning anywhere and all that other stuff.
Yeah, right.
And then
We won't
once she
see a lot
started,
until
once
next
she
year.
started announcing, she started giving out a little bit more her message.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm leaning more towards Elizabeth Warren, and I, you have to do a little bit of research and whatnot.
You do, which is a thing that Bernie supporters don't do. Is these guys, they hear free college, free healthcare, free everything, and they're just like, yeah, let's do it. When there's a lot more that goes into it than just that. I mean,
Yeah,
you actually have to look
Elizabeth Warren that's her message too. Free
That
healthcare
is her message.
and free college.
Yeah, but the thing is, her approach isn't as far left as Bernie's, and she's actually brought out real plans on doing this. So with Sanders, he hasn't even given me anything, and
Well, he's pounding the same measure that he did when he was running the first time, which is in a way is good because he's
sure,
he's
but now
showing
the
people
economy's different now, though.
Like, y'all motherfuckers think I left, right? Nope.
See, but my thing is, he can't run exactly the same way, with the same tax plan and all that, because he was coming in from Obama's, when Obama's economy was great or good.
Well, he made it good, and which Donald
Trump
Trump
has
is
now
trying to
just
take
put
credit
us-
for it.
Trump has now put us right now, currently, since Trump has taken office, we're $2 trillion more dollars in debt. Like, I don't know, man.
But our economy is booming, according to him.
Actually, it's not doing bad.
I know it's not.
And our
But
unemployment has dropped, too.
And I think I saw, was it something
it's
about
like
the last month? It was the least amount of jobs that we've added in, I guess, the previous month since he was elected. It dropped to only 20,000 jobs and stuff that were in the workforce.
Huh.
So it's just a lot of his thing. And then what also is not helping him right now too is all his promises. You know, like, oh yeah, we're gonna keep all these American businesses open. Like, how is he gonna justify
huge plant.
You know, General Motors? They fucking.
He said he was gonna bring coal jobs back.
Yeah, which is retarded because
even the coal miners don't want to go back in there.
You know, it's just like I said, you gotta kind of innovate, create different forms of support, different forms of energy where we can create more jobs.
Sort of. And that ties in with the Green New Deal.
Yeah. Let's just wrap it up on this note.
So, yeah, the 2020 Democrats.
Yeah.
That's, unless you had another question about it, Javi.
I mean, no, not right now. It's a little too early to.
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously going to be touching base on this throughout the next year and a half.
Vote Amy Klobuchar.
It surprised me.
Booker 2020.
How many people were actually running? Like, how many Democratic candidates were actually running?
Yeah.
That's what surprised me. I didn't.
It doesn't surprise me. It honestly doesn't.
Well, it's a little surprising, but then at the same time, not so much just because of the shit show that's been going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that want to throw their.
I just feel like some people.
Like even, what's his face? Julian Castro.
Yeah.
Right, he's in.
Yeah.
Tulsi Gabbard.
The mayor of San Antonio.
Yeah. Oh, but he was
the United States Secretary of Housing and Urban Development.
Yeah, exactly what Ben Carson, I believe, is doing right now.
Yeah, I think so.
And what the hell do you even hear about Ben Carson right now?
Idea.
Besides the fact that he paid for, what was it, a $26,000 like coffee room
I'm
table?
pretty sure Julian Castro is just running on the fact that I worked with Obama, and so that's.
So
like,
what, is Obama's speechwriter going to get in this now?
No, I think that's.
He's like,
just,
I wrote everything, so I'm very qualified.
I think that's just like the basis he's trying to get at. Like, oh,
it's stupid. He won't even win. Probably not even his own.
No,
district.
I don't think so either. But
yeah, probably.
San Antonio still won't go for him.
Was it who's another? Oh, John Delaney. He's a Democrat from Maryland. Tulsi Gabbard from Hawaii.
She doesn't stand a chance.
No, not at all.
No, she was anti-gay.
Yeah, she ran basically a get straight camp with her dad.
Oh. Yeah, man.
Well, there goes her fucking vote.
Yeah, exactly. But she's like, no, I'm not, I'm different now.
You need to run under the Republican ticket, sweetheart, because you're not gonna win with any Democrats.
And even the Republican tickets right now are also.
Even the Republicans are looking at her like, gee, homophobe.
Especially because that's the atmosphere now where actually mainly a lot of people are actually like pro-gay, kind of. Like they're pro-gay rights. There's a lot of people that are actually like starting to go into that.
Well, it's
honestly, that's just kind of being a decent human being. I mean, gays are no different than us, so.
And then who's the? Oh, Kamala Harris. We already touched base with her.
She's an idiot.
I like her though.
She also wants reparations done, which is fucking impossible.
I'm for that because all the shit, dude. That's like 400 years of shit, dude. Of fucking shit against the black community. But how the fuck are you gonna do it?
Yeah. Who are you charging and who are you giving it to?
Exactly.
Somebody like Kamala Harris doesn't even qualify for it because she's Jamaican and Indian.
Yeah, see, like on that, like I'm with it, but we should do this right. If fund money, I guess if it would on predominantly black neighborhoods, youth centers, you know, and stuff like colleges, black colleges.
No, I agree.
You know, stuff like that. Not reparation, because it's almost borderline and. Not even boys.
She wants reparations. She wants reparations.
Yeah, I know. Like, and I'm with that, right? But it's.
I believe in putting money, into the community.
It's everybody who has, you know, or you would have to basically do like an ancestry DNA on every fucking black person here that came, that has ancestors from that were part of the slave trade.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be fucking
Like, what
hard.
about all the northern blacks that were there back in the day that weren't slaves?
You know
what
it's
I
just
mean?
it's gonna be some shit. Like it's
And then not
it's
only
fucking
that,
borderline
but
impossible.
who do you charge? You think the U.S. government's just going to pull this out of their ass? They would want to go to the people who are responsible. And be quite frank, I'm not paying a goddamn dollar for what my family did.
I don't know. I don't know. I said I don't know because it's just too hard. It's hard in the sense where first of all, it's a classified, right? How much a person should get, and it's just a bitch.
I think the idea of putting it towards youth centers and all that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. We should put it into the communities that need it.
Yeah, exactly. And then that there goes the reparations. You could put money into education system where there's predominantly black, communities, where, like, look at what happened in Oakland. Look how much they're paying the fucking teachers, right?
How much is it, anyways?
I think it's like to the point where it's hard to even afford living here. They should at least be making a decent amount of money.
I think the starting pay, it should be the starting pay is around. This is back when I used to check. It's around 40,000, depending on what the kind of plan they chose. I think.
Ouch, 40,000. Whoosh.
Yeah, and then,
but once you reach your tenure, I think you hit 90. But to hit the tenure is pretty hard.
Isn't that like
10 years?
15?
10 years.
10?
10 years.
Still, man. But imagine all the startup teachers, dude.
I mean, yeah, it's
And not only that, you pay for most of your classroom supplies.
Yeah,
Which $40,000 a year.
Imagine I have to pay, and depending on how many classes you have, and if that's fine if you have you work for a small school where you maybe even get like maybe 2 classes every year,
Yeah.
so that's only 2 different classes you need to buy supplies for. I mean, and then as a big ass like school, elementary school or something like that, you're gonna have to buy a lot of fucking supplies.
A lot, yeah.
Right. And then the next one on my list is John Hickenlooper, the governor of Colorado. Don't know much about him.
Not bad.
I seen a little bit.
He actually had huge economic growth for Colorado.
That weed game, man.
All right, weed's got something to do with it.
And then wait, do you guys actually know how if the legalization of weed has improved California ever since?
I don't think we know that yet. It's like in its first year.
Yeah, this is
First or second year.
Wait, when did it?
Yeah.
This year. It came into effect.
Yeah,
this year.
January. No. Last year.
It was January last year?
Yeah,
Fuck, man,
last
that
year.
shit.
2018.
So it already has been a year.
It was 2018
Yeah,
when this happened?
it's already been a
Fuck,
year.
I thought it
It's
was like
been legal.
2017. Okay. So yeah, it was way too early to see.
Yeah, we gotta wait.
We'll
and
have
see
to
on
give it
that
at least 5 years.
one. And then,
Yeah.
And then who's it? Oh, Jay Inslee, the governor of Washington.
No. I don't even know why he's running. He's wasting money.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people, man. Oh, and then my personal favorite, Amy Klobuchar.
She was the one that said that she was gonna run in the snow, right? In Michigan.
That's the human snowman.
Yeah, or no, in parentheses, woman.
Oh,
Snow woman.
as our commander in chief likes to put it. Yeah.
Where where he denounces climate change and global warming because she's in a fucking blizzard.
But not only that, I don't think she's gonna win just because her own people called her a
staffers
bully.
don't even like her, man. Where she's
I like it though. You know what?
I mean, it's
Be
good.
tough.
Like,
yeah.
You're a hard ass, but
I've heard she threw binders at them.
yeah.
Just horrible bosses.
What the hell is it? And then she went on, I forgot, I want to say it was like NBC or some shit, and she did an interview and she was like not even apologize. She was like, yeah, I have high expectations for my staffers.
I like that though. I really do.
Good. It's good. Like I said, it's a good thing, because you want to be, ship shape,
She's kind of like, what was it, that Devil Wears Prada?
I've never seen it.
I just know Meryl Streep's character was an asshole. That's all I've heard from it.
And then Bernie Sanders, we already touched base on him. What he's gonna do is gonna be the same thing.
He's not gonna do anything.
Well, he's gonna do exactly what he did the
And
last campaign.
And if Biden runs, Bernie will again not do anything.
And then Elizabeth Warren, again, another person we already touched base on.
I like her.
Yeah, she's my one B. If
She's his one. He agreed with Monica that if they ever ran into Elizabeth Warren, that's Ernesto's one.
that's my one, yeah. Ooh, hello, Liz.
Lizzie.
And then a couple of people who are just like never really heard of. This is Marianne Williamson. She's an entrepreneur and an author.
And she's wasting her time.
Yeah, and then Andrew Yang, also another entrepreneur.
He was actually just on Joe Rogan's podcast.
He is the
He
co-founder
seems cool.
for Venture for America.
He also, I heard on the podcast with Joe Rogan, he basically wants to do this incentive program or some, where basically every American household would get like $1,000 a month.
That's pretty cool.
That would be great. Don't get me wrong. But I think it's just another empty promise that he's probably doing just to probably get his name up there. Because
It's not
he's
gonna
like,
work.
like, for that guy, can you imagine looking at Bernie Sanders?
What do you mean, bro? It's reparations
Yeah, reparations for us, man.
for the working class.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know it's not going to work.
Yeah, man. But yeah.
That's why his ass is at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, those-
Behind the Hawaiian congresswoman who hates gay people. He is below her right
The
now.
homophobe.
Yeah, those are the 2020 candidates. And
2020 Democratic candidates as of March 10th, 2019. Come on, Biden.
yeah, let's do it.
Step
Let's get
up, my
this.
friend. We need you.
We need that blue wave riding straight to DC, baby.
You need that blue wave riding like that cool white hair riding back on your head.
All right, I guess this is where we end it here.
I guess this is it for this podcast. We've mainly touched base on the 2020 candidates and, for some God knows reason, the Iraq War and the Afghanistan War.
It's all right, man. We go on tangents. What we do. We go down the rabbit hole.
So
Listen to our last podcast. You know what's up.
Please don't, but do.
it's a mess, but it's a nice mess in my opinion. Leave us comments, concerns, questions on the comment section of this YouTube channel that is SAJE Banter. We like to hear feedback.
Hit that like button.
like
and subscribe. We need some,
We need
supporters. We
More supporters that aren't just us that like and subscribe.
Yeah.
We need money.
Share with your friends, families, coworkers. We just need to, it's just nice to be able to just get your voice out to people who kind of resonate with you. So if you agree with what we say, or if anything, if you don't agree, just,
I'm always here for a debate.
exactly.
Exactly.
Just comment and let us know what you think. Thank you.